Okay, how's everybody doing? Everybody's asked for a T-bone video, so here we go. First video. As you can see, I've got my T-bone pretty much finished off here. And I have, I'd say a good amount of shank left over here. I have two pieces of 1/4 inch tubing behind this. I have my 1/2 inch tubing here, which I like to open up with my scissors just to give it a little opening. That also prevents the singe. This is an important part here, is that you give it a nice singe around the edges. I just like to barely touch that with a lighter. That way nothing gets all crumpled. You don't want that to really curl up on itself. You just want it to barely singe on the edges, and I hope you guys can see that real well, is that those edges and ends are just barely starting to curl over. And so now I come in here with this, and I hold it with my 2 fingers, index and thumb, and that 1, 2 wraps to secure, and I give it some tension. I'm using 210 flat waxed, nothing special. I'll give it another couple. I'm nervous, so it's going to slide on me. First video jitters, sorry about that. Now you can see it's all cockeyed and stuff. That's okay. Once you push it back and start to mold the head, it's going to end up being straight. So you want to come in here with the scissors again, and what I like to do is, you can see this kind of just open things up again. Come in here with your lighter and just barely touch those edges again. Get those edges just to kind of curl back. You can see they just started to curl back, and again you can just take your finger, and again, nothing super glued. I haven't super glued anything. I squeezed in here, okay? So you can squeeze these in here, which allows you to get that flare, okay? So once you get that flare, I can push that back. So once you push that back and get that bevel going, now you can push it all the way back. Now, this is where I like to stop. I don't see a need to push it all the way back and then bring it forward. This is as far back as I go. I have my trumpet. I have my flare, my cone, whatever you want to call it. I have that shape. So now this is where I'm going to secure my thread. Another 2 to secure. Make sure I have that right where I want it. Now I'm going to come in and go 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and tight. She's secure. She's not going to spin. Now I'm going to whip finish and make sure this is all nice and tight. There she is. Locked in there. Good to go. Now I'm going to take my crazy glue, super glue, whatever you want to use, Loctite. Slather that on there. Now comes the magic. Watch when I push this back. You can just start to see the shank. You can just start to see the eye of the shank coming through. Once you see that, you can kind of almost stop your cone. Get my finger out of the way there. You can just kind of stop the cone there and then let it pop back. You can see it wanting to just pop back and take shape. So now you just kind of mold that head back, and as you mold the head back, it just kind of, like I said, it takes shape. Now you have your nice 1/2 inch T-bone head on there. Good to go. Now what also I like to do is I like to take, I don't like to mess around. It's mainly because I don't like to spend money on 8 million different UV resins like I should be. But what I also like to do is, at this time, I'll remove the fly from the vise. You can see I have a nice taper on that. Nice head shape. But what I'll do now is I'll take some solar res, and I'll apply that right down on the inside of the eye. Now, the reason why I do that is because in our cold water, when I'm fishing below 30 degrees, or really below 40 degrees I should say, is sometimes the glues and things like that can crack in that extreme weather conditions, and I like to have the solar res on the front just to kind of help seal everything off. Kind of seals that opening so that, you know, again, we're building a bulletproof fly here, so just prevents everything from popping off. So now you got your fire tiger on there, and this is how I also attach my shanks. I'll bend that guy up all the way, slide him into the peak, rest it back, make sure he's even, and crank him down. And there you have your 1/2 inch T-bone head that you can fish with it just like that, or you can throw some eyes on there. And I might do a video later on how I do my eyes and things like that. Again, that's a little longer of a process, so maybe we'll go through that a little later on another video. So I hope you guys took something away from that and enjoy it. Thanks. Tight lines.